Hello friends, welcome to chess training. Myself Nikhil Joshi welcomes you to Live Chessbook Academy. In this video, we are going to discuss how to find a checkmate in two moves using our queen, rook and bishop. In this first example, it is black to play. We have to first figure out which checks are available to us. For example, in this position, black can give this queen a6 check. As we give this check, the king moves here. After the king moves here, you know what happens? The pawn is controlling this a2 and c2 square. So the black plays now queen a2 check. So with the help of this pawn, we have checkmated the white's king. In this example, it is black to play. Many players will give this check or this check, attacking the king from the fourth rank in a hurry. But if we look carefully, we understand that if we give this check, the white king has a chance to run on the backside. So the black gives pawn b5 check with the support of his king. Now where can the king go? The king cannot go here because of the pawn's check, cannot go on backside because of the queen's check. So he has to capture the pawn. As he captures the pawn, black queen captures white pawn and queen controls this line and this square, and white king cannot go to b6 because of our king's attack. So we have checkmated the king. In this example, it is black to play. As we can see, there is no direct check available. For example, if we play queen takes pawn, then pawn takes queen will go. Black plays queen to a3. What has he done? He has blocked this line as well as this line, and now the white king has no squares to move. Now whatever white may play, we can play queen to b2 with checkmate. In this example, it is white to play. White observes that his rook has a control on this line. So with the support of rook, he gives this check. The black king moves to c6. Now let us try to figure out which could be good checks. Queen d7. Can we give that? No, because black rook will capture us. And also the black king is left with right now these two squares. Look at the box around him. The pawn is controlling this square, this square. This pawn is controlling this square. Queen is controlling this square and this line. So he is left with these two squares. So we play queen d6 check. And with the help of our rook, we trap the black king. In this example, it is white to play. White starts with the move queen to d5 with the support of his bishop. Now the black king has only one square, king e7, and now we move our queen one more step forward and we trap the black king. Checkmate. Now let's go to the checkmate of rook. In this example, it is white to play. White plays rook d8 check. He attacks the black king. Now where can the black king run? If he comes to this square, then the bishop is attacking that square. So the black king must run to h7. As he runs to h7, we play rook to h8. Now see, as we can observe, the black king is left with no squares. If he moves here, the bishop is attacking it. If he comes here, the pawn is attacking it. So practically there is no square to move. So we have checkmated him. Let's now move to the next example. In this example, it is black to play. we can observe that both the black rooks are attacking the white knight. Sometimes we have to wait for some time, look at the board carefully and then decide which capture is correct. For example, in this position, if we play rook b into e2, his king will run to d1 and now we are left with no good checks. What do I mean by good check? Your piece should not die in that. Example, if we give this check, king into rook will come, and if we give this check, then rook into rook will come. So none of the checks is working. So this is why in the actual game, black player went for rook e into e2, check. King has to go here, and now this rook comes over here with checkmate. In this example, it is white to play. As we can observe, the white rook is controlling the 7th rank. So we use our knight to attack him. Which check is good? This check, it's a bad check because the black bishop will capture the knight. So we give knight f6 check. He moves here. And now we move our rook in front of king with check and mate. Now it is white to play. Our rook is attacking this open b file. So we give bishop b7 check. He has to come here and now bishop c6 check. See, after this check, the black king is left with no squares to move. So what we do is a check and mate. The next example now. Here it is black to play. The black rook is controlling the first rank. So black brings his bishop and attacks the king. As he attacks the king, the white king has to move to b1 square. As we move our king to b1 square, black plays bishop to a3. He attacks the king with his rook and his bishop is now controlling the b2 square. So white king is left with no squares to go, checkmate. Now friends, we move to the checkmate of bishop. In this first example, it is white to play. The white rook is controlling the 7th rank. So now see which check is a good check. See, we sometimes, as I said, we have to stop for some time, look at the board for some time and then decide which is a good check. For example, if we give this check, the black king will move here and now we are left with no reasonably good checks. Example, if we try bishop d7 thinking that we are giving it on support of rook, the rook itself would die. So that is why white started with the move knight to g6 check. Now the knight comes to help the bishop and rook. Where can the king go? The king has to go to this square. As he goes to e8, we play bishop f7 and with bishop f7 we have trapped the black's king. In this example, it is white to play. White starts with the move queen to a8 check, attacking the black king. Now black king moves to the square b6. Now let us look at the box around the black king. See, this is the box around the black king. Where are the squares available? Our queen is controlling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the black king is left with this square and this square, isn't it? So this is why white plays bishop to a5, and as he goes bishop to a5, now the black king is left with no squares to go. So we have a check and mate. in this example, it is black to play. Black starts with the move king to c2. We can see that with his king he has blocked these two squares. Now what has happened, the white king is not left with any move to make. So if he moves this pawn, because he is left with only pawn move, isn't it? So suppose if he moves this pawn, you can play bishop to b2, and with this move we have a check and mate. Now in this example, it is white to play. White here started with the move king to d6. When we move king to d6, what we have done, we are attacking these two squares. These two squares of course are controlled by the pawn, and our king has blocked 1, 2 and 3. So this has left the black king with the no move to make. So what can black play? Suppose if he moves this knight here, our bishop will go from this side and trap the black king. Or else, if he thinks that by moving knight to f6, he is blocking this check, we can play bishop to a5 and still we can trap the black king. In this example, it is black to play. So here, as we can see, the black rook is controlling this line, this open file. The bishop is attacking this and this square. So black starts with the move bishop to d2 check, king to d1. So he couldn't capture it because of the rook support. Now we can play bishop into e2, attacking the king. After we play this, the king is left with no squares to go. So we have a check and mate. So friends, if you are liking my video, please press the like button, share this video with your friends and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Have a nice day.